A $100 price crash in gold. Silver, $26.50 per ounce. We're going to talk about all this gloom and doom in the precious metals market right now. But of course, we'll talk about the good news as well, because there's plenty of that for us to cover. And if you own one of these, you might have something that's worth 500,000, yes, 500,000 US paper unicorn fart dust dollars. We'll talk about that as well. But let's dig right into all this speculation that we might have a big downturn in the price of the precious metals in September. My friend Roger from over at Bald Guy Money sent over a couple great charts that I want to go over with you guys. On your screen right there, what you see is September is gold's worst month, okay? And thank you to Bald Guy Money for sending these over. I was mentioning to him, or we were actually chatting electronically, and he sent this over, and I was like, wow, I'd heard a lot of people talking about this, but guys, look at that. That's every month. That's the average change in gold, okay, per month for a 7-year period between 2017 and 2024. As you can see, September, looks like June and February are down on average a little bit, but look at September, down almost 3%. And if we go to the next slide, it breaks it down for us by year. This is September. During each of these years, how much gold went down. As you can see, right? 2017, 3%. 2019, probably 3%. 2020, looks like 4%. 3%. And then last year, looks like gold went down by almost 5%. So on average, we have had that's 6 years in a row. Let's point that out. Number one. Number two, on average, what we're learning from this is that September is actually a challenging month for the precious metals. And it's not just Bloomberg and the statistics that are showing us this. We also have these top Wall Street analysts. Let's run out quickly and review, because we did look at this yesterday. What the Wall Street analysts, this was a Kitco article that said Wall Street experts turned bearish on gold. We're not going to cover the whole article again. You can watch yesterday's live stream, but down, said Darren Newsom, senior market analyst at barchart.com. Phil Streibel, who we love, right? The head of market strategy, Blue Line Futures, is short-term bearish on gold as well. Adrian Day did say up, so we always love Adrian and his optimism. It says long-term, he's a bull. This is Mr. Mark Leibowitz. Getting a $200 to $300 correction is not out of the realm of possibilities. Okay? They're talking about the Fed. There's a lot going on right now. But this does not mean, guys, this does not definitively mean that September has to be a bad month. Now, look, I was dead wrong about all this. Back in May and June, we were talking about how I was hoping that we would make it through the summer with gold staying above $23.50 per ounce. And that as we hit September and October, that we could get a really big bounce. Well, look, we did really well over the summer with the gold and the silver price for that matter. So now we're heading into this, what could be challenging month, but it's not, guys, all of these analysts are remaining very optimistic on the long term. That's key for us to remember. I don't hear any of these Wall Street analyst experts saying, oh, I think gold's going to 1,800 or I think gold's going to 1,600. Remember those calls like 2 years ago? All these people said, oh, gold's going to go to 1,400. Well, they've been proven wrong. Said this week, 14 analysts participated in the Kitco, News Gold Survey, and the results showed a definitive shift in sentiment to the downside. Only 4 experts, 29%, expect to see gold prices rise this week, while 7 analysts, a full 50% of the total, believe gold will trade lower. And there was one more little thing, a new thing I wanted to add for this one. This guy said, I think gold continues to shine, but we're going to see some trepidation seasonally, he warned. This is when they back off. So the risk here, guys, the fear is that September. Hello, basement dwellers. Hey, let's talk more about September. Let's talk about what this could mean price-wise. But before we do that, let's talk about you. Thank you for being here. It's a big honor. I appreciate your time. What we want to do here is develop our community of gold and silver basement dwellers. Some of us, you're welcome to call yourself a basement dweller. I'd be honored if you do. We love to talk about silver and gold. We got a great community of people. Please leave comments in the comments section. Every live stream, I go through one of the comments. We read all the comments, but you could be featured in a live stream. I know, big deal, right? Well, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. And I want you to feel like you belong because you do. Let's go back here quickly one more time and take a look at this, right? This is what's happened, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. That doesn't mean absolutely that it's going to fall again, guys. It does not mean that we are absolutely doomed when it comes, right? As we make our way through September. So what does this mean numbers-wise? Let's go back quickly. Okay, when we look at this, I'd say on average, gold's fallen like 3% in September over the last 3% of $2,500. Let's go take a look. Let's do our update, our morning gold and silver price update. But let's get the right screen up for you. We're moving you guys all over the internet this morning. Hope you're enjoying your trip. Let's go to Pimbex here. And let's check on the gold price. And let's talk about what this number up here, gold, could look like if we do have a September correction. Oh my gosh, are we going to be okay? Right? I don't know. You guys know I've shared with you. I'm kind of a nervous person to begin with. Makes us a little more nervous to think about gold and silver. What would silver go down? We'll look at that as well. But let's do an update here. Press the Pimbex button. All right, gold is now down, but still hovering right at $2,497, still in that $2,500 range. Doesn't it feel like we're building a base at $2,500 in gold? Silver, $28 per ounce. I want to say thank you to channel sponsor Pimbex, Pimbex. That's where we are right now. Guys, without them, without their support, our community is not possible. So please support them and give them a shot when you're out there shopping for gold, silver, or platinum group metals. I've personally have worked with them for over a year. I personally worked with them before they sponsored my channel. I was so happy when they did because I was super impressed with the company. And I'm a very, very much, let's call myself a value shopper. Right. With Pimbex, I always felt like I was getting and feel like we're getting and our community is getting ultra competitive pricing, great selection, and really almost most important, a company that we can trust. They also can help with IRA conversions. Please do yourself a favor. If you ever decide to do that, take your time and consider Pimbex as well. So when we look at this gold price of $2,500, when we look at the fact that September is going to crash, right? We're going to have the September pullback in gold. Well, how much will silver? Let's say silver goes down by 6%. Okay, guys, it's not the end of the world, right? At 3% on the gold price, let's say we have a 3% correction in gold. We're talking $75 per ounce. We would be talking about gold still being above $2,400. Now, you listen up, basement dwellers, buttercups. If 1 year ago right now, right, we had told each other 1 year ago, we were all a year younger, still friends, all that good stuff, but we had told each other that the gold price would be 2,400, which is not. It's still 2,500 now, but let's say at the end of September, gold is at 2,400. Would we have been jumping for joy? Let's go find out. Let's go on a quick trip again back out to the internet, and let's just go to Yahoo Finance. And go to the, excuse me, Not silver, gold. I already had it. I was waiting for something that, let's go back and look. So right now the futures on gold, 25.27. Where was the gold price 1 year ago right now? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so when we had $1,800 gold on at the end of September last year, $1,800 gold, and I told you that we were going to have $2,400 gold. Again, that's if we get a 3% correction from where we are right now. How do you think we would have reacted, guys? You know what? Hold on. Let's go back. Let's just look at where silver was 1 year ago. Since we're having so much fun with Yahoo Finance, we would have been jumping for joy. We have a lot to be grateful for. There's our friend Silver. Silver's strong. Wow, the future's up 35 cents. 28.53. Looks like I think that's the December contract. It says somewhere. All right, here we go. 1 year ago. So 1 year ago at the end of September, we had $21 silver. So I come to you and say that in 1 year later, right now, we'll have $28 silver. Guys, we would have been jumping for joy. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath. I know I don't like when things go red. I'm not saying they have to go red. So that's one positive thing. In 1 year, we have come so far. Number two, both of these metals, gold and silver. Do you feel it? I mean, does it feel like they've gone up? They've gone up. They've gone up steady. Not a rocket. A rocket goes up and a rocket comes down. No, gold and silver have made steady price increases over the last year. Okay? That's the fact. Okay? That's number one. Also, they're building bases as they go up, building support, building strength. Remember, something goes straight up, goes straight down. What you want is a healthy, right? It may go like this, but it's going up. That's so critical. Let's remember that. Okay, that is so critical. The other thing is, just because gold has struggled 7 of the last years in a row, that's no guarantee that this is even going to happen. At the end of September, we could be talking about $2,800 gold. We really could. We could be talking about $33 silver. So let's not eliminate that out of the realm of possibilities either. All right. Make sure I covered all the prices, all the pertinent points on this. Everybody's still, and that's the other thing to remember, these big analysts on Wall Street are also long-term very positive, very bullish on the price of the metals as well. Okay, let's go check. It's been a while. Let's go check and see how the silver price is doing in China. Here's our friend Oriental Ghost. China, Shanghai Gold Exchange, Shanghai Futures Exchange. Look at this, guys, right? Silver, AG. That's the, atomic symbol or whatever, chemical symbol? I forget. I had chemistry class, but nonetheless, that's what that stands for. AG is silver. The Shanghai, and I emphasize the high because the price is always higher in Shanghai, Gold Exchange silver price in US dollars. This is a physical market, $30.44. So what's still about $2 or change higher. It's not quite the difference between the Shanghai and the COMEX is not as dramatic as it was maybe 6-7 weeks ago, but still significant, still 8-9% higher. Okay, Shanghai Futures Exchange, same thing. Man, we continue. These are the vaults. Okay, the Shanghai Futures Exchange vaults continue to get drained. That's pretty big, down 19,000 kilograms. Wow. Wow. Did he make a comment on that? No. Let's see what else he's got. Not commenting on much else. We had a great subscriber comment yesterday regarding, we talked about, guys, how silver is near breaking out to all-time highs in Australia. Let me go back here. Hold on. Let's look at this real quickly because it is some fascinating information. Oh, do I have it up still? Here it is. Okay. This is the silver price in Australian dollars. Look at this. I mean, you talk about a cup and handle. It's like a tilted cup and handle. But guys, this is the silver price on the far right side. As you can see, I think it was like $42, $43 per ounce. The silver price is breaking out in Australian dollars. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about what's going on in Canada, and we're going to pull all this together because there's some crazy things going on worldwide in the silver market. Again, we'll cover that more tomorrow, but let's see what our friend in Australia, okay, Russell Harding says, greetings. Greeting. Can I do an Australian accent? Susie and I went to Australia. I don't know if I can do an Australian accent. Greetings from Australia. I was just checking my favorite bullion shop's price list. 1 ounce of silver in Australia is roughly 49 to 50 Australian dollars, which is nothing extraordinary, he says. It was higher a few months ago. So at $49, $50 now, he's saying it was higher, maybe $55. Guys, the silver market is acting very peculiar on a worldwide basis. Again, tomorrow, I'm going to share with you some unbelievable insights into what that can be telling us about the future silver price. Do you think, right? Do you feel it? I feel it. I'm feeling it, baby. We're feeling it, right? We're feely people. That 1 year from now, I'm going to be sitting here and we're going to have our $44 silver. Absolutely, I believe that. Now, I could be dead wrong. Don't make any financial decisions based on anything I'm saying, right? And trust me, I got a lot of skin in the game. I got a lot of pizza in the oven, okay? But I think we're going to get some boots on the warehouse floor when it comes to precious metals, when it comes to silver over this next year. I do believe that we could, right, even see silver price as high as $44 by Christmas. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll see how it works out, okay? What about $26.50? Why is $28 for silver is critical, right? And we're holding there. Let's go look. Let's head out and check on the price again. Okay. All right. Yes, we are holding, right? I mean, we're at 28.23 in the silver price. Critical. Another critical level that we need to keep an eye on is 26.50 for silver. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's go out to, here we go. Our friends at FX Empire, silver weekly price forecast. Silver continues to see buyers on the dips. So we have this talk about 26.50 silver. We've got to talk about September and the potential for it being a difficult month for the precious metals. But there is still some very, very, very constructive good news when it comes to the silver price. All right, let's skip down here. Silver markets, weekly technical analysis. The silver market initially plunged during the week. This was last week, breaking well below the 28.50 level before turning around and showing signs of life. By doing so, this is a market that looks as if it is trying to bounce enough to continue the march higher. Yes, yes, yes. Right, right. Bang your desk with me, basement dwellers. Do you hear that? Is my camera moving? I'm banging the desk. But it gets even more interesting because he says, if we do break down below 26.50 per ounce, then I think the uptrend might be over. Oh, we don't like that. I think did you just feel your blood pressure go up? But it certainly looks like we're trying to pressure to the upside and try to get back to the $30 level. Okay, if we do, and we clear that $30 level, that opens up more of a buy and hold scenario. We like that, don't we? More of a buy and hold scenario. But silver is going to remain volatile. It is almost always volatile. I don't know about you, my fellow basement dwellers, but I know I can vouch for that, and I think you can too. Silver is volatile. Silver is a schizophrenic. and bipolar. It has a dual diagnosis, right? It has multiple personalities, and it's prone to erratic behavior. I coined that phrase, darn it, right? It's a dual diagnosis, schizophrenia and bipolar. It's almost always dangerous to get too big into a position in silver. Warning. So make sure your position size is reasonable. Well, I, for one, I can admit my position size is not reasonable. I'm over allocated to silver. I'm over allocated to precious metal mining stocks, but oh well, you know. So that's what we're looking at with silver. Remember how everybody likes to beat up on our little friend silver, don't they? Everybody likes to beat up on silver. Silver's been abused, right? Silver, we'll add something. Silver is the abused child, like the stepchild of the family, right? That unfortunately has bipolar and schizophrenia, but is also at the same time brilliant and ready to shine. And we know that will happen here before we know. What about a recession? Let's all have a sip of coffee, and we're going to come back. And guys, absolutely, we are in a recession. Could we be heading to a depression? What does that mean for the silver price and the gold price? We're going to talk about that next. Join me for a sip of coffee. A recession? Wait a minute. I hear something shaking over here. Do you guys hear that? Something shaking. What? Hold on. Wait 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to investigate. Here. They're shaking. They don't like this talk. They don't like reality, huh? Everybody, quickly say hi to Jerome. We haven't had her out in a while. Hello, everyone. Everything's wonderful in the U.S. economy. They're shaking. Why are they shaking? You guys be quiet, because we're heading into a recession. Wait till you get a load of this, guys. Wait till you get a load of this, because this comes. Hello. Oh, she looks sad. Zero hedge. Key recession indicator gives stronger recession signal in August. This is a recession signal that has never been wrong. Okay. The modified McKelvey recession indicator with no false positives or false negatives since 1953 suggests we are in a recession now. That means this indicator has a 100% accuracy track record since 1953. Do you think we might want to pay attention to that? Do you think? Let's investigate. It's the McKelvey PMS combined recession indicator. There's the current reading, 0.54. This is interesting. 100% of the time, no false positive or negative under any conditions. The economy's been in a recession. So we're in a recession, okay? But what is it? It's some measurement. It doesn't really matter, but takes the 3-month unemployment rate, average, subtract 12-month low, and if the difference is 0.3, then a recession has started. Edward McKelvey, a senior economist at Goldman Sachs, created the indicator. That one was wrong. So then somebody updated it. Cloudy Sam, a former Fed economist, revised the rule, claiming it as her own without credit to McKelvey, and set the indicator to 50. And once she changed it and set it to 0.5, you can see that it has absolutely been 100% correct at predicting recessions. So we are in a recession. I mean, don't you feel it? I've spent some time with one of my great friends. I've been known him since I was born. He's my cousin, SpongeBob Ivy. Okay, owns a business. His real name's Tim. Owns a business where he travels around the country, all over the country, and it's a very successful big business, and takes pictures at these high-end dance competitions, where the dance moms go, all that stuff. Nothing against that. That's great. It's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he's told me, right? He was kind of like sharing with me. He's like, sales are down and his costs are up. He's like, people aren't spending as much on like pictures. They don't have the money, right? But his cost of running the business, all the fuel to drive his F-450 around the country with his big trailer and all the hotel rooms. He's like, hotel rooms are double the price. His costs are going up. That's what's going on in our economy right now. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? Right? Revenues are going down, costs are going up. And it's not just a SpongeBob, right, that's experiencing this with his business. It's all business. It's all those businesses that are in the S&P 500. Revenues are going to be coming down while expenses are going up. That is called stagflation. That's a stagnant economy with inflation, because when the Fed lowers rates, inflation's going to go up. The economy already stinks, guys. They've already cooked our goose. Revenues will be going down. The stock market will be going down. Bonds aren't going to look good. The only thing that's going to look good to a lot of people, what do you think? When all this happens, when all this unfolds, are gold and silver. That's all that people are going to, it's going to look much more attractive to a greater number of people. And that will be good days for those of us that are ahead of the curve, that already have moved part or some of our wealth into precious metals. No doubt about it. On top of that, shocking. This is shocking. Did you see this data about job creation? Unbelievable what is going on in our country. Okay. Let's go out and take a look. This one graph is just absolutely shocking. We'll get to the graph, but here it is right here. The Great Replacement Job Shock. 1.3 million native-born Americans just lost their jobs, and they were replaced by 635,000 immigrants. This dug in to the jobs number, what's been going on since October 2019. Hold on, there we go. Native-born U.S. workers have lost 1.4 million jobs. Over the same period, foreign-born workers have gained 3 million jobs. Look at this chart down here. Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up. Oh, that's on X. Darn it. All right. Well, that shows it on a line graph, right? But here, we'll look at this one. There it is. Well, there it is down on the bottom. Shoot, hold on here. I got a better picture of this, guys. Let's go over here. Hold on. Stay with me. Here we go. Here we go. So that shows the number of jobs, okay, by origin, okay. Foreign-born workers are gaining jobs. Native-born American workers are losing jobs. That is what's going on in our country right now, in our economy. Let me go back out to the Zero Hedge article. There we go. So Zero Hedge really championed this cause and pointing this out, okay? But now the Wall Street Journal is saying, right, here we go right here. Without immigrants, the U.S. working age population would shrink. How immigration remade the U.S. labor force. Mainstream media is catching up on this. Good jobs. Here's what's going on. A lot of good jobs behind the scenes are going away, like high-paying, white-collar professional jobs. A lot of IT jobs, from what I understand, right? When IT is like the future, blah, 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 they're going bye-bye, right? And the jobs that have been created over these last 4 years, a lot of like service-oriented jobs, right? Cleaning people. You know, I know where I have a little job I do at night, and when I leave, and they're wonderful people. But there's a group that comes in to clean the building. It's the mom, and then the son and his wife. Mama's like 80 years old. They're from Venezuela. And by the way, they love silver and gold, and they're good friends of mine. I love these people. They're hardworking. But those are the jobs that are being created. That's the economy. Did you see Macy's? Now, I think I read this morning, they're going to close 55 more stores. That's what's happening right now in our country, in our economy. It's really being eroded from the bottom because the middle class has been absolutely decimated. decimated. I talk to my neighbors all the time. We all have kids, and and most of these households have a dual income, and they all say the same thing, like, oh my gosh, you can't afford, especially then if like you want to get your kid into like a select sport or something. People can't afford to make ends meet right now. It's just the reality of what's going on. Did we get a super chat that I missed? Clifton Moberg. Ron, start of a nice week. Yeah, let's have a good week. Look, I apologize, guys. Thank you, Cliff. I didn't mean to be so negative when I started this video live stream. Okay. But I had to point out, right, that September data, we could still have a good September, right? For both gold and silver. Let's not forget that. Absolutely could have a good September. Okay. Are you sitting on a $500,000 coin right now? If you are, and you discover it today, maybe you can give me $10 or something like Cliff did. Thank you again, Cliff, for the super chat. Super chats are so super appreciated, never expected, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And guys, please don't forget, leave some comments, please. Okay. That's how we get to be, you can get engaged with this community and we can learn from you, learn from each other. This is a 1976 proof set. Okay. I got another one around here somewhere from 1970, but there's a proof set out there that has a dime in it that is worth $500,000. Let's explore this interesting story. Here it is. Hold on. Okay. Huge payout expected. Let's see if I can get. Here we go. Huge payout expected for a rare coin an Ohio farm family bought and hid for decades. This extraordinarily rare coin made by the San Francisco Mint in 1975 could bring more than $500,000. Okay. This is from Toledo, Ohio, where three sisters inherited a dime kept in a bank vault for more than 40 years. They knew it had some value, but they had no idea just how much until a few years ago. The extraordinarily rare coin, struck by the U.S. Mint in San Francisco in 1975 could bring more than $500,000, it's a company, that's Ian Russell, who's going to be auctioning it, and that'll be at the end of October. So here it is, but I'm going to tell you where you can find it and what's so special about this coin. What makes the dime depicting President Franklin D. Roosevelt so valuable is a missing S mint mark for the San Francisco Mint. One of just two without the mark known to exist, but there might be more, okay? The other one sold in 2019 for $456,000 a dime. Oh my God. And then again, months later to a private collector. Don't do what I did and spend your whole weekend going through all your spare change looking for this, because these are only going to be in proof sets like the one I showed you earlier. Okay. The Mint in San Francisco made more than 2.8 million special uncirculated proof sets in 1975 that featured 6 coins and were sold for $7 each. Collectors a few years later discovered that 2 dimes from the set were missing the mint mark. So while there's a chance more examples of the rare dime are out there, they would only be found amongst the 1975 proof sets and not in anyone's pocket change. So if you have a 1975, again, this is a 1976, right? Yeah. Oh, wrong. Hold on. Excuse me. If you have a 1975 proof set, you need to do one of two things, right? You need to check the dime down there and see if it's missing the S proof set. If you do find that, you need to immediately wrap that up and mail it to me, okay? No, you need to immediately, I don't know what you would do. Go somewhere you trust, okay? If yours does have the mint mark on it, don't try to be a funny guy and get a file out and file it down. They'll know that you did that, okay? But very interesting story about what's going on. The other biggest story that could really reshape the precious metals market here in the next 7 weeks, right, is a two-pronged story. But the biggest one will be the election, number one, right? And tomorrow's the big debate. That's going to be interesting. I'll leave it at that. Join me for a quick sip of coffee. But guys, the feathers are going to fly. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever see a bird get disturbed and the feathers, fly? The feathers are going to fly over the next 8 weeks. The election, but the big, big, big sleeper story that we really got to pay attention to, because they aren't going to talk about it on the mainstream media, is what's going on with the BRICS countries. We talked yesterday about the fact that now the Russian news agency, TASS, T-A-S-S, put out an article over the weekend where it explicitly said that this new trade settlement currency that they're going to be talking about, will definitely, right? Well, when I say definitely, but they talk about a 40% gold backing. Do you know how big that's going to be? Okay. We'll be keeping an eye on that and a lot more stories. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Allergies are horrible, so I apologize for having to mute the microphone from time to time, but please support our channel sponsors, First Mining Gold and Fortuna Mining. You can learn more about them at their respective websites, to which there's a link in the description of this and every video. And of course, our friends at PIMBEX, Pimbex, if you want to get your hands on some silver and gold at the best prices from a company you can trust. So as we go through, right, the end of October, and guys, what are we? We're in early September right now. This is like truly right now, right? Critical time, because we're 7 weeks ahead of this massive election, massive meeting with the BRICS countries in Russia, right? It could be absolutely cataclysmic for the precious metals prices. And maybe that's a bad word. A catalyst for the precious metals prices. I mean, the world could go through massive amounts of change. Not to mention, on top of that, we know what's going on geopolitically in the Middle East and in Europe, with major conflicts going on right now. I'll be here for you through it all. Thanks again for being here. Please subscribe to the channel. We want you to come back. It's so important you understand that. You're welcome here. You're part of the club, Basement Dwellers. Have a great day. Thanks again, Cliff, for that awesome super chat.